Wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an old soul. These rich men know for Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men.
Wow, I wish politicians wouldn't just look for minors on an island somewhere. Very powerful lyrics from a very powerful song that truly does resonate with the majority of America, and that's why it's under attack by the corporate media today. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zurkadowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we have a lot of absolutely crazy and wild news to get into today, as of course we are going to be giving you a rundown of all the absolute madness happening in our current modern day society, as of course there is a larger war out there that is meant to, of course, freak you out and make you lose control of yourself. We are going to be doing our best to try to rein all of it in with a little bit of sanity, critical thinking, and analysis of our current day modern events through what we hope to provide you an honest perspective. We're going to be talking about that plus a lot more. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is, of course, from the extremely talented Oliver Anthony with his latest song that is #1 on iTunes right now called Rich Man North of Richmond. We, of course, will be linking the full video down in the description below. His Twitter handle is Ain't Got a Dollar at Twitter, and it's definitely worth a follow, as this song right now is resonating with so many individuals, as the lyrics in there are not only harmonious, but absolutely filled with a lot of truth, as Joe Rogan even declared that he loves this song because, quote, you can't fake authentic, and Oliver Anthony has it in abundance, and I would definitely agree. As his song talks about a 1984 Orwellian government ramping up of inflation, taxes, deals with homelessness, obesity, the welfare state, depression in males, the growing income gap between the rich and the poor, and more importantly, politicians who go to islands with small children on them. Something, of course, that has triggered Rolling Stone, a rag piece of trash corporate media shill organization that now is going out and trying to trash this song by attacking it in their latest article, describing it as a, quote, passionate screed against the state of the country, and, quote, how right-wing influencers are very into it, as they seem very displeased that topics that they didn't approve upon in the larger establishment lexicon have been talked about and addressed, which they, of course, don't approve of. Oh, you're using a major form of media and entertainment to talk about real issues that actually impact and matter to people? Oh, you better not, mother trucker. Rolling Stone's going to be pissed at you, which they are with this particular song, and why I think it's becoming more popular than ever. This says they launched ad hominem attacks against Oliver Anthony, and it's also important to note here that this is allegedly the same media publication that was very triggered and told you not to watch movies addressing very important issues like the trafficking of small children, and which should leave a lot of people wondering, like, what's Rolling Stone really doing? What's their motives here, as they keep being on the side of some very predatory individuals that they seem to be attacking the critics of very viciously. This, as of course, a lot of what Oliver Anthony talked about is very apparent to a lot of people, especially people living in San Francisco, where employees in federal buildings are told to work from home because crime is so bad in the surrounding areas near those buildings. All of this as California is a major welfare state that does allow a lot of people to be imported into their local populations, just like New York State is now, as an upstate Democratic bureaucrat just announced that he is refusing the importation of migrants into his district after there were 2 assaults physically done on the local population there. All of this as we're also learning today that 65 Afghanis that were on a terrorist watch list were actually let into the United States after the Americans' chaotic withdrawal from that country, showing yet more damning failures from the U.S. government importing populations of individuals who literally were responsible for planting IEDs and trying to kill, maim, and hurt as many Americans as they could previously beforehand. Hey, buddy, you know, yeah, come on over. Yeah, sure, yeah. There's plenty of room here, just not on Martha's Vineyard. They get really triggered when you go there. Everywhere else in the United States, just come on in, is essentially the policy of the Biden administration that has absolutely, and in my opinion, deliberately failed the American people in order to bring in a Build Back Better, allegedly great reset that is really there to take everything away from you. But one thing that they can't take away from you is t-shirts that you wear on your physical body and could represent political memes and ideas that are usually routinely censored on the internet. And that's why we created the bestpoliticalshirts.com, our own store where we get to express a lot of really incredible ideas that are deemed a little bit controversial, as of course we just released our LGBTQ favorable t-shirt that of course is going to raise a lot of eyebrows and have a lot of people saying, hey, do you really support the LGBTQ? And I could proudly say, when it comes to this, absolutely I do. As of course, this is one of the latest, one of the greatest shirts and thought crimes that we have committed through the bestpoliticalshirts.com that you could wear in the real world and affect real individuals by having them think about critical issues or having them understand that also they are not alone when it comes to discerning a lot of the bull crap that the establishment puts out there. One of the shirts that I'm wearing right now, you could also get on the bestpoliticalshirts.com that highlights the reality of the current war that's going on right now inside of Europe, a war that is meant to be prolonged and not won. We also released another one that talks about how people are pro-peace, pro-freedom, pro-family, pro-self-ownership. We, of course, have our F Around and Find Out t-shirt of chic-based stickman that we found out recently is not being criminally charged, allegedly according to some of the politicians in Stockton, California. But whatever ideas you want to represent, what you want to highlight, what you want to be seen as, we have all those t-shirts plus a lot more. This one's a little bit too spicy to show here. The Florida one's also very indicative of the Southern culture that we are very proud of, as I also released a Don't New York My Florida shirt as someone who personally left the crap hole, communistic hellscape, technocratic, corporatist, garbage-filled rat maze that is called New York City for the beautiful beach filled with coconuts and palm trees and the most amazing waters that you could ever be in, as we are currently headquartered in the beautiful state of Florida, particularly in Miami here, which I have to say I absolutely adore and love. We're going to be doing a lot of really incredible things here, specifically through lukeunfiltered.com. But before that, just make sure to get active, make sure to get engaged. And one of the easiest, one of the best ways to do lazy forms of activism is just by simply getting a t-shirt. We have tank tops, we have women's shirts, we have men's shirts, we have hoodies, we have accessories, we have hats, you name it. We got it. All on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Lots of different forms of expression, lots of different memes, lots of different ways for you guys to be able to finally get your message across without even having to say a single word. Thebestpoliticalshirts.com. The link is down in the description below, and hopefully I will see you there right after this broadcast, as of course we are not done here, as culturally there still is a major war to be fought, especially when it comes to the latest nonsense happening in our society. As right now, the Austin Pride Parade is being kicked off, led by school children for some reason, which should make people question, what Why? That makes no sense at all, as well as the latest information that we got from Barack Obama's exes that have been corroborated through alleged letters describing how the former president of the United States fantasizes about making love to men daily in his imagination. And, you know what? Whatever Barack drone bomber wants to do or think about that has to deal with his own kind of hormones and reproductive organs, whatever. That's fine. As of course, a lot of people are talking about that, but they're not talking about the larger issues that have been released by Tucker Carlson recently that I think are more important, and that are the bombshells that have been released from his latest video on Twitter, talking to the former Capitol Police Chief of Washington, D.C., describing some of the anomalies that the American people have been denied knowing of when it comes to the events of January 6th. Here's a small snippet of the beginning of this video that I think is definitely worth watching all 55 minutes of.
You've described this as an intelligence failure, but a failure is something that happens accidentally.
None of the intelligence that was coming up talking about the storming of the Capitol, killing members of Congress, or killing my police officers was ever discussed at the conference calls that I was on, at least.
That doesn't seem to make sense at all.
It doesn't make sense. I'm looking at my men and women having their asses handed to them, and my first thought was, fuck it, I will take whatever discipline there is.
Once things got out of control, for 71 minutes, Pelosi refused to allow you to bring in the National Guard. Why don't we have answers?
It doesn't seem like people really want to get to the bottom of it, and it gets worse from there. I had a conference call with the leaders of all the law enforcement. It was a call I coordinated. Not one person on that call talked about any concerns for the intelligence, the attack on the Capitol that we were seeing that was out there. That's what's scary.
This sounds like a setup to me. I'm sorry, it does.
New Jersey State Police beat DC National Guard to the Capitol.
Wait, cops drove from New Jersey before the National Guard could get from the Armory on Capitol Hill to the Capitol. Why isn't this story everywhere?
I have no idea.
Good question. As of course, those events, those questioned by the authority figures that were responsible for them, or something that I think is worth noting, just as, of course, we are shown clear corruption from this Biden administration that used a tragedy for their own political benefit and empowerment. A very similar story to what's happening with, of course, the Biden family that used their positions of power that were supposed to be representing the American people and used it to enrich themselves through foreign government contracts with governments that are foreign policies intricately involved in, specifically a Chinese government, a Russian government, a Ukrainian government, and a lot of their private enterprises that were connected to them that were giving the Bidens a huge sum of money, as there's still an ongoing investigation of the president's son, Hunter Biden, that has been involved in a lot of controversies that largely still have not been accounted for. And I bet the story gets even more interesting, more intriguing, as there's even frontline U.S. senators talking about how the special counsel investigating all of this cannot be trusted, and I would agree with those sentiments here. This, as now we have the latest controversy surrounding the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, whose legal team is being accused of being linked to a voting system breach in a Georgia county. Yes, you heard that correctly. Georgia prosecutors are saying that they have messages showing how Trump's team is behind an alleged voting system breach that happened in Georgia, which they believe allegedly is a top-down push for Trump's team to access voting system software, as the former president of the United States has already been accused of many crimes and is facing nearly 600 years in jail already for a lot of what people call political crimes that are being heavily prosecuted from federal and state officials all throughout this country that seem to be pulling out all the stops, trying to stop him from being the next president of the United States, as it's fair to say that this upcoming 2024 presidential election is really a scandal election, whether it's Hunter Biden, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's all the judges and legal formalities involved here. I think it's fair to say that there is a lot of political fatigue, a lot of sensationalism, a lot of the politicization of the justice system. And who do you believe during these very pressing, crazy times? No one. What do you make? Who's responsible? Who's really guilty here? I don't know. To me, I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of talking about it. And it's an absolute crap show, which is going to become a bigger crap show coming up to the 2024 election. So get your bootstraps in, get your umbrella out, because there's a lot of crap coming. Hope you guys are prepared for whatever's going to come our way, as of course the legal justice system is very unpredictable, and there's going to be a lot of twists, there's going to be a lot of turns, there's going to be a lot of craziness coming our way, filled with a lot of shenanigans, to say the least. That's just my perspective. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be a crap storm? Let me know. Press 1 in the comment section if you believe that's going to be the case. Press number 2 if you believe it's going to be a crap-free election, which I don't believe it's going to happen. There's going to be October surprises. There's going to be what do you think is going to happen? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively supporting this independent media organization, going out there, getting t-shirts, and being a part of this larger independent operation. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.